Late last night, the Senate, by the narrowest of margins, took a final step to keep new rules from going into effect that would make it easier for consumers to sue banks. Kayla Tausche explains.
A late-night vote in the Senate rolled back a rule that would let consumers band together in suing banks and credit card companies, rather than fighting issues alone through a process called arbitration. Vice President Pence cast the deciding vote.
And the joint resolution is passed.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau introduced the rule this summer to give consumers the chance to hold banks accountable over small sums of money. It would have taken effect next year. Congress moved almost immediately to toss it out, using power to overturn regulations drafted only recently. The House voted to do so in July, as industry groups argued that scrapping it will mean banks won't be weighed down by lawsuits.
Had they gotten rid of this rule and accepted the CFPB rule, I think it would have been much more costly for the consumer to do business at a bank.
Treasury says the move will spare banks from 3,000 lawsuits and nearly $2.5 billion in legal and settlement fees. Democrats point out the move protects companies recently embroiled in consumer scandals like Wells Fargo and Equifax. CFPB found 75% of consumers don't know whether their financial accounts carry this fine print, barring lawsuits.
This bill is a giant wet kiss to Wall Street. Bank lobbyists are crawling all over this place, begging Congress to vote and make it easier for them to cheat their customers.
President Trump is expected to sign the bill, which the White House in a statement called a win for everyday consumers and community banks and credit unions.
Republicans continue to take aim at what they call an overreach of power at the CFPB. A senior White House official says overturning these new agency rules is one way to keep pressure on Richard Cordray, the sole figurehead running the CFPB tapped by President Obama. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Kayla Tausche, Washington.